Did you know that success in the financial markets doesn't solely rely on strategy? This is one of the most surprising lessons from Ed Seykota, one of the greatest traders of all time. He revolutionized the market by demonstrating that simple systems, combined with emotional control and continuous learning, can lead to extraordinary results. Are you ready to apply these principles to your life? Discover how mindset, discipline, and curiosity can transform not just your investment approach, but your life. The pioneer of market automation, Ed Seykota, saw what few others could: the power of technology to revolutionize the financial market. In the 1970s, when computers were still rudimentary and not widely available, Seykota took the first steps toward integrating data science with financial markets. He recognized that human emotion, one of the biggest challenges for traders, could be mitigated through automatic systems capable of making rational decisions based on historical patterns. Picture the scenario of the time: hand-drawn charts, time-consuming calculation, and analyses that depended on careful attention and ample time. In this environment, Seykota began developing models that used past data to predict future movement. He relied on moving averages and other technical indicators, mathematically adjusted in his system. These models were rudimentary by today's standards, but incredibly advanced for his time. He essentially created a virtual trader before the concept even existed. What truly set Seykota apart was his choice of tools and strategy. While many traders still believed success depended on intuition and constant presence in the market, he trusted the cold logic of his system. The idea was simple yet powerful: let predefined rules dictate the trades, not the emotions of the moment. Though this may seem obvious today, it was revolutionary at the time. One of his greatest legacies was his ability to adapt his systems to different market conditions. Seykota understood that markets changed, and his algorithms were flexible enough to incorporate new variables like volatility or unexpected trends. This adaptability gave him an extraordinary advantage, enabling him to maximize profits in unpredictable situations. His work also challenged the status quo regarding how traders viewed risk. With his automated systems, Seykota could calibrate exactly how much he was willing to lose on a trade before even entering it. This eliminated the burden of doubt and hesitation, showcasing a rare level of strategic intelligence. A practical example: he wasn't afraid to cut losses quickly, even if it was painful in the short term, trusting that the system would compensate in the long run. Seykota's adoption of computerized systems wasn't just about profit. It was about transforming how markets were understood. He proved that trading could be an exact science, as long as it was combined with a healthy dose of curiosity and innovation. And this mindset paved the way for what we now know as algorithmic trading. But Seykota's impact went beyond the technology itself. His philosophy was the true game changer. He believed that financial success was a direct reflection of the trader's mental state, a lesson that would be explored more deeply in the next section, where we analyze his famous quote: "Every trader has what they deserve." Curious? Let's dive into that. Every trader has what they deserve. Ed Seykota is widely known for his provocative and thought-provoking phrase, "Every trader has what they deserve." This statement transcends the financial markets and delves into the essence of human behavior in the face of risk, choices, and consequences. He believed that trading results are ultimately a direct reflection of the mindset, discipline, and attitude of each trader. For Seykota, success in the markets wasn't just about well-designed strategy, but also emotional control. He saw the market as a mirror reflecting the deepest characteristics of the individual. Disciplined and resilient traders were rewarded, while those driven by greed, fear, or impulsiveness inevitably faced losses. This concept has profound implications. You can't blame the market. The true enemy or ally is within yourself. Imagine, for instance, a trader who constantly breaks their own rules, entering or exiting trades based on anxiety. For Seykota, this behavior wasn't an accident. It was an unconscious choice that determined the outcome. He thought that every decision in trading is like a small vote for the type of trader you want to be. If you choose to ignore your plan, you're voting for inconsistency. If you follow your strategy, you're building trust and coherence. A key point he advocated was that psychological preparation was just as important as technical knowledge. A trader who isn't emotionally prepared to handle inevitable losses can easily sabotage themselves, either by holding onto a losing position too long or exiting a profitable one too soon. He saw this as an extraordinary phenomenon. Often, traders become victims of their own thought patterns. As a practical solution, he recommended self-assessment exercise, like keeping a trading journal to identify emotional and behavioral patterns. Seykota also believed that successful trading required a connection to personal value. To him, money was an extension of one's belief system. If a trader, for example, believes they don't deserve to be wealthy, they'll subconsciously sabotage their results. This highlights the importance of aligning financial goals with positive and realistic beliefs. A practical example would be setting clear and measurable goals that resonate with what you value, like freedom or security. This philosophical approach also had a practical side. He suggested that traders use systems that aligned with their personality. A risk-averse trader shouldn't use highly volatile strategies, while someone with a high risk tolerance could thrive with bolder trades. This concept reinforces the idea that there's no one-size-fits-all formula for success. What works for one may not work for another. The phrase, "every trader has what they deserve," also carries a sense of personal responsibility. Seykota emphasized, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how sophisticated the system or how well the market is doing. You are solely responsible for your results. This lesson may seem harsh, but it's incredibly liberating for those who embrace it, as it puts control back in their hands. And this perspective led him to explore another fundamental pillar of his success: the importance of simple yet effective systems that adapt to the unpredictable nature of the market. It's time to understand how Seykota turns simplicity into something extraordinary. The "keep it simple" philosophy. Ed Seykota firmly believed that simplicity was one of the pillars of success in the financial market. For him, trading systems didn't need to be overly complicated to be effective. On the contrary, he argued that the best strategies were those that captured market movements without relying on a multitude of variables. This approach, often overlooked by novice traders, was crucial to the extraordinary results he achieved. Seykota understood that the market is inherently chaotic, and trying to predict every detail is a futile exercise. Instead of creating systems overloaded with indicators and rules, he developed models based on basic concepts, like trends and risk management. He knew that the extraordinary often lies in the simple, as long as it's applied consistently and with discipline. A classic example of his approach was using moving averages to identify trends, a simple yet powerful technique. Another fascinating aspect of the simplicity Seykota championed was its adaptability. Simple systems are easier to adjust when the market changes, while complex strategies tend to collapse under unexpected conditions. He often warned against overfitting, the mistake of creating systems that perform perfectly on historical data but fail in real market. For him, a robust system was one that remained effective even in uncertain scenarios. In practice, this meant that Seykota spent more time focusing on execution and risk management than on perfecting every detail of the system. He believed that a trader should invest energy in critical decisions, like when to enter and exit a trade, rather than trying to predict the next move with absolute precision. He often said, "It's not about predicting the market, but about positioning yourself intelligently." Simplicity was also essential to avoid emotional burnout. Traders using complex systems often face a higher mental load, which can lead to mistakes caused by stress and confusion. Seykota knew that trading was already mentally challenging, so he sought to reduce the complexity of his operations as much as possible. A practical example he suggested was limiting the number of simultaneous trades to maintain focus. However, simplicity didn't mean a lack of sophistication. Seykota's systems were carefully designed to handle the most important elements of trading, following trends, controlling losses, and letting profits run. He was a master at creating systems that appeared simple on the surface, but incorporated a deep understanding of market phenomena. This combination of intelligence and minimalism was one of his greatest secrets. The most important lesson here is that simplicity isn't synonymous with mediocrity. It's a strategic choice. Seykota shows us that curiosity and the pursuit of innovation aren't about adding complexity, but understanding the fundamental. He proved that by focusing on the essential, you not only increase your chances of success, but also reduce the mistakes caused by an overload of information. This principle leads us to another key aspect of his work: risk management. For Seykota, protecting capital was just as important as seeking profit. How did he put this into practice? The art of risk management for Ed Seykota. Risk management was more than just a technique, it was a philosophy of life. He believed that survival in the financial markets depended on protecting capital before seeking profit. This influential view shaped his trading approach and highlighted the importance of limiting losses as an essential part of any successful strategy. In his words, if you control your losses, the profits will take care of themselves. The core principle of Seykota's risk management was simple: never risk more than you can afford to lose without compromising your ability to keep trading. He would limit his losses to a small percentage of the total capital, usually around 1% to 2% per trade. This approach allowed him to weather a series of losses without jeopardizing his survival in the market. This caution was one of the reasons he achieved such extraordinary results throughout his career. In addition to limiting risk on each trade, Seykota advocated the concept of portfolio total risk. He believed that traders should diversify their operations to prevent a single position or strategy from dominating their performance. For example, if an automated system indicated trades in different markets, he adjusted position sizes to ensure none of them put the portfolio in danger. It's a powerful lesson that many investors overlook when they get too attached to a single bet. Another fascinating aspect of Seykota's philosophy was his focus on cutting losses quickly. He developed systems that efficiently identified when a trade wasn't working, allowing him to exit before losses accumulate. A classic example was the use of stop-loss order, set according to the asset's volatility. This gave him the confidence that he would never be stuck in a losing position, something he saw as a common trap among less experienced traders. But risk management wasn't just about avoiding losses. It was also about maximizing profits when the market was in his favor. Seykota was a strong proponent of the let profits run concept. He adjusted his strategies to ensure that during strong trends, he could make the most of extraordinary moves. For him, it was essential to find a balance between protecting gains and giving a profitable trade space to grow. Seykota also emphasized that risk management wasn't just technical, it was emotional. He knew that traders facing large losses often lost confidence and made impulsive errors, like trying to recover the loss quickly. To avoid this, he recommended establishing clear rules and following them without hesitation. A practical example would be deciding, before starting any trade, where your exit point would be if the market went against you. His approach to risk management reminds us that the market is a wild force of nature, full of mysteries and unexpected phenomena. Protecting your capital is like building shelter before the storm. And, as Seykota demonstrated, the trader who survives the chaos inevitably finds opportunities to thrive. This mindset of protection and patience led him to explore another fundamental dimension of success in trading: the power of discipline and consistency. The power of discipline and consistency. Ed Seykota saw discipline as the foundation of successful trading. For him, following the rules set by his system was more important than trying to predict what the market would do next. This approach, although simple in theory, is incredibly difficult to apply in practice. After all, the market constantly tests traders' patience and determination. Seykota knew that only the disciplined would survive this test. At the core of this philosophy was consistency. Seykota stressed that to achieve extraordinary results, one needed to repeat the same effective action, regardless of momentary emotion. He understood that the trader's real enemy was impulsivity, the tendency to abandon a carefully devised plan because of a passing emotion like fear or greed. To counter this, he used automated systems that eliminated emotional decision. Imagine, for example, a trader who develops a solid plan but, in the heat of the moment, decides to follow their instinct and ignores a stop-loss rule. That one slip-up can turn a small loss into a financial disaster. Seykota, on the other hand, believed that following the rules of in the most challenging situations was the secret to maintaining control and, ultimately, reaping the rewards. He used to say, "It's not the system that fails, it's the trader who fails to follow it." Another fascinating aspect of the discipline Seykota promoted was his patience. He knew that markets don't move according to anyone's timetable. Instead of trying to force quick results, He was willing to wait for setups that truly met the system's criteria. A practical example would be refusing to enter a trade just because it looked like a good idea but didn't meet all the parameters. This strategic patience is a lesson many traders, especially beginners, could apply. Seykota also understood that discipline wasn't something inherent, it was a skill that had to be cultivated. He recommended practices like keeping a trading journal, where traders recorded not just their trades, but also their thoughts and emotions associated. This helped identify behavioral patterns that could lead to recurring mistakes. He believed that curiosity about understanding oneself was as important as understanding the market. Consistency in applying the system was also a way to reduce stress. Traders who follow clear and objective rules have fewer doubts, and therefore less emotional strain. Seykota knew that the trader's mind is their most important tool, and protecting it from emotional chaos was vital to success. He compared this to a professional athlete who follows their training routine rigorously to ensure consistent performance. In the end, Seykota's discipline allowed him to overcome the most unpredictable aspect of market, their cyclical nature. He knew there would be periods of inevitable losses, but his consistency kept him in the game until profits returned. And, as he proved repeatedly, those who remain disciplined during tough times are positioned to seize the big opportunities when they arise. With this solid foundation of discipline and consistency, Seykota also developed a unique perspective on how market cycles affect traders' emotions and decisions. In the next section, we will explore his approach to the inevitable highs and lows of the market. Understanding market cycles, Ed Seykota had a profound understanding of the cyclical nature of markets. He knew that the financial market operates like a living entity, oscillating between periods of optimism and pessimism, and that understanding these cycles was crucial for success. To Seykota, markets weren't just economic systems. They were reflections of collective human behavior, full of emotions, expectation, and impulsive decision. He believed that market cycles could be observed in two main dimensions: trends and volatility. A trend reflects the general direction of prices over a period, while volatility measures the intensity of fluctuations along that path. For him, it was extraordinary how these two variables together could reveal the emotional state of the market. A practical example: during periods of high volatility, traders tend to make hasty decisions, while in calm market, trades seem more rational. The ability to identify cycles was one of Seykota's greatest strengths. He used his systems to capture trends while avoiding trades that went against the prevailing movement. For example, if the market showed a clear uptrend, he would position himself to ride it, allowing the strength of the movement to maximize his profit. Rather than fighting the market, he flowed with it, a principle many traders try but often fail to apply. Another fascinating aspect was how Seykota viewed cycles as opportunities for learning. Downturns weren't just tough times but moments for reflection and adjustment. He knew that while the market was unpredictable, its behaviors followed patterns that could be understood over time. He often said that the market always teaches lessons, and successful traders are those curious enough to learn from them. Seykota also recognized the connection between market cycles and trader emotion. When markets are in an uptrend, euphoria often leads investors to take unnecessary risks, while during downturn, fear can paralyze decision-making. He taught that the successful trader is the one who can detach from these emotional swings, remaining true to their system, no matter the external circumstances. This approach also involved accepting the limits of prediction. Seykota understood that, while cycles can be recognized, trying to time them with precision is a futile effort. He believed that the focus should be on risk management and adapting to market conditions, rather than trying to predict exactly when a cycle would start or end. A practical example would be adjusting position sizes during times of high uncertainty, while keeping the strategy intact. Finally, Seykota viewed market cycles as an opportunity for discipline. He knew that every trader faces moments of doubt, especially during challenging market periods. However, he believed that those who stay consistent in their approach during the highs and lows not only survive but thrive in the long run. He used to say that the market rewards patience, but severely punishes those who lose focus during critical moments. The psychology of the market and the trader's mind. Ed Seykota always believed that understanding the psychology of the market was just as important as mastering the technical aspects of trading. He viewed the market as an arena where emotions such as fear, greed, euphoria, and despair manifest in amplified forms. To Seykota, the market was a reflection of the collective mind of traders, and understanding these psychological dynamics was key to making intelligent decisions and avoiding traps. Seykota's first lesson about market psychology was simple but powerful. The market has no feeling. It just exists. This means that price movements aren't good or bad, they're simply natural phenomena. The problem arises when traders project their emotions onto market movements, interpreting a rise as confirmation or a fall as a failure. Seykota taught that the true challenge for traders was separating their emotions from the objective data. He also pointed out that traders' emotional reactions often create repetitive patterns in the market. For example, in a bull market, the fear of missing out can lead to irrational buying, inflating prices beyond reasonable levels. Similarly, in bear markets, panic can lead to hasty selling, creating opportunities for traders who remain rational. Seykota knew that understanding these emotional cycles was an extraordinary advantage for anticipating market. For Seykota, self-control was the key to overcoming emotional traps. Emphasized that a trader needed to be at peace with their decisions even before entering a trade. This involved accepting that losses are part of the process, and that each trade should be viewed as an experiment, not as a reflection of personal value. He recommended practices like meditation and visualization to keep the mind calm and focused, especially during volatile times. Another fascinating aspect of market psychology, according to Seykota, was the effect of personal beliefs on trading outcomes. He believed that many traders sabotage themselves by holding negative beliefs about money, success, or their own abilities. A practical example would be someone who unconsciously feels they don't deserve wealth, and as a result, makes decisions that ensure their failure. Seykota advocated that the first step toward success was to identify and reprogram these limiting beliefs. Seykota's view of psychology also involved a deep respect for uncertainty. He knew that no system or trader could predict the future with 100% accuracy, and trying to control the uncontrollable was an invitation to emotional disaster. He taught that accepting the uncertainty of the market was liberating, as it allowed traders to focus on what they could control, their own behavior. A practical example would be setting clear limits for losses and profit, allowing the market to take its course without unnecessary interference. Finally, Seykota recognized that the market is an excellent teacher for those willing to learn. Every trade, whether successful or not, offers lessons on how emotions and psychology influence behavior. He suggested that traders keep a detailed record not just of their trades, but also of their thoughts and feelings during each stage. This practice helped identify emotional patterns that could be adjusted. With this deep understanding of the mind and emotion, Seykota was able to craft a trading approach that was both logical and profoundly human. But he knew there was something even more powerful than technique or psychology: the pursuit of meaning in what we do. Let's explore this philosophy in the next section. The life philosophy behind trading for Ed Seykota. Trading was much more than a means of making money. It was a form of self-expression, a journey of self-discovery, and a mirror for his life philosophy. He believed that the financial markets were a stage where each individual manifested their worldview, beliefs, and values. This transcendent approach gave trading a greater purpose, connecting his daily actions to something deep and meaningful. Seykota often said that success in trading was closely tied to aligning your goals, your system, and your personality. He believed that a trader needed to know themselves deeply to operate with consistency and effectiveness. For example, someone who values security above all shouldn't adopt highly risky strategy, as this would create internal conflict that would sabotage their decision. This lesson applies to any area of life. When your goals are aligned with your values, your actions flow naturally. Another pillar of his philosophy was accepting responsibility. Seykota was adamant that each trader is solely responsible for their results. This meant abandoning the common practice of blaming the market, other people, or external factors. He saw responsibility as a form of empowerment. When you take full control of your choices, you also gain the power to transform them. It's an extraordinary lesson applicable to all aspects of life, from business to relation. Seykota was also a strong advocate for the idea of enjoying the process. He taught that the ultimate goal of trading shouldn't just be to accumulate wealth, but to enjoy the journey, the learning, the challenges, and the discoveries along the way. He believed that curiosity was one of a trader's greatest allies, asking, "What can I learn from this?" After each trade, whether successful or not, was a way to continually grow, both as a trader and as a person. Seykota's philosophy also valued the balance between personal and professional life. He knew that trading could be intense and emotionally draining, and therefore emphasized the importance of cultivating hobbies, relationships, and interests outside of the market. He believed that a happy, balanced trader was more likely to make smart, rational decisions. A simple example of applying this would be setting clear hours for market work and time dedicated to other activities, such as exercise, reading, or spending quality time with family. Another fascinating aspect of his approach was his view of money. For Seykota, money wasn't an end in itself, but a tool for creating freedom and possibility. He saw trading in the markets as a game where the real prize was personal growth. This perspective helped him maintain a healthy relationship with success and failure, knowing that each trade was just part of a much larger journey. Finally, Seykota believed in the impact of positively influencing others. He saw his role as a trader and mentor not just as a way to achieve his own goals, but also to inspire others to explore their potential. His lessons went beyond the market, encouraging people to seek a greater purpose in everything they did. This connection to something deeper is what made his career a lasting legacy. And with this broad and inspiring perspective, Seykota went on to explore a vital element that connects all traders: the need for continuous evolution. In the next section, we'll understand how he viewed the importance of lifelong learning. The importance of continuous learning. Ed Seykota firmly believed that learning never ends, especially in the world of trading. For him, the market was a dynamic, ever-changing environment, and the only way to remain relevant was to stay open to continuous learning. This mindset set him apart as one of the most innovative and influential traders of his generation, inspiring countless professionals to adopt a similar approach. Seykota saw the market as a relentless teacher. Every trade, every trend, every mistake was an opportunity to learn. He understood that curiosity and openness to new ideas were essential for growth, both as a trader and as a person. For example, he frequently reviewed his trades to identify patterns of success or failure, turning these analyses into insights that would refine his system. This practice can be applied by anyone, whether in investing or other fields, such as business or education. One of Seykota's most valuable lessons was that learning should not only be technical. He emphasized the importance of understanding the psychological, emotional, and behavioral nuances that influence trading decisions. He believed that long-term success required a combination of technical skills and emotional intelligence. Therefore, in addition to studying market strategy, he encouraged traders to read about psychology, philosophy, and even literature to broaden their worldview. Another fascinating aspect of Seykota's continuous learning was his willingness to experiment and adapt. He understood that no strategy would work forever and that, to thrive, one had to evolve with the market. A practical example would be how he adjusted his automated systems to incorporate new technological trends or shifts in investor behavior. This flexibility was an extraordinary differentiator that kept him ahead of the competition. Seykota also valued learning through collaboration. He believed that exchanging ideas with other traders, even those with different styles, was a powerful way to grow. He often said that divergent perspectives often bring insights you wouldn't have considered on your own. This is applicable in any area of life. Seeking feedback, participating in groups or community, and being open to constructive criticism are ways to accelerate personal and professional development. Additionally, Seykota recognized that learning required humility. He knew that no matter how experienced or successful one became, There was always more to discover. This attitude kept him from falling into the trap of complacency, a common mistake among experienced traders. He viewed the market as a place where learning is endless, and this mindset kept him constantly engaged and innovative. Finally, Seykota saw continuous learning as an act of self-care, believed that investing time and energy in oneself was the best way to ensure a better future, both in the market and in life. A practical example would be regularly setting aside time to study, review strategy, or even learn something completely new, such as a language or a practical skill. He understood that personal growth was the key to facing challenges with confidence and creativity. And this relentless pursuit of evolution brings us to a final element Seykota deeply valued: the importance of leaving a legacy. Let's explore how he viewed the concept of leaving a lasting impact. Building a legacy, Ed Seykota not only revolutionized the world of trading, but also left behind a legacy that transcended financial markets. He understood that true success isn't just measured by individual results, but by the impact you have on the lives of others. Systems, and philosophy. Seykota inspired generations of traders to pursue excellence, both in the market and in their personal lives. One of the most notable ways Seykota built his legacy was through his role as a mentor. Featured in the book Market Wizard, he shared not only his strategies but also his beliefs about discipline, self-awareness, and responsibility. He understood that knowledge is only valuable when shared and used to empower others. His ability to translate complex concepts into practical, human lessons is one of his greatest contributions to the financial world. In addition to teaching, Seykota inspired traders to reflect on the purpose of their journey. He believed that operating in the markets should be more than just a pursuit of profit. It should be an expression of curiosity, passion, and self-development. This perspective encouraged many to see trading as a tool for financial freedom, while also growing as individuals. For instance, he connected the technical and philosophical aspects of trading, showing that both are essential to success. Seykota also demonstrated, by example, the power of balancing ambition with humility. Despite his extraordinary achievements, he never presented himself as someone who knew everything. On the contrary, he acknowledged that the market was bigger than any one person and that continuous learning was a necessity. This attitude made him not just a model of competence, but also of character, rare and influential combination. His legacy also manifested in the way he challenged traders to think critically. He encouraged people to question assumptions, avoid shortcuts, and develop systems that were consistent with their own values and personality. This approach made him an exceptional mentor, because he knew that sustainable success only occurs when the trader aligns with their own truths. This lesson resonates strongly in other fields, illustrating that authenticity is one of the keys to success in any area. Another aspect of his legacy was his emphasis on the long-term. Seykota believed that the most significant impact one can have is not immediate, but unfolds over years or even generations. He knew that the principles he advocated, discipline, risk management, continuous learning, and responsibility, were timeless and would remain relevant long after his era. This foresight positions him as one of the most influential thinkers in the history of trading. Finally, Seykota left behind a legacy of inspiration. He proved that the extraordinary can be achieved when we combine innovation with self-awareness, curiosity with discipline, and technique with philosophy. His story is a powerful reminder that success in the markets and in life is both a science and an art. For those willing to learn from him, his influence lives on, guiding traders toward excellence and purpose. And so, we close the cycle of Seykota's lesson, but there is still something left to explore: how all this wisdom can translate into practical action for readers. Ed Seykota's journey is an invitation to reflect on how we approach life's challenges, both in the market and beyond. He teaches us that success goes beyond complex strategies or luck. It's rooted in discipline, continuous learning, and alignment with our value. Now, ask yourself, how have you been dealing with your emotions and decisions, not just in trading, but in life? Are you following your rules or yielding to impulsivity? If you want to grow like Seykota, start with small steps, review your goals, align them with who you are, and adopt a more disciplined approach. And remember, the market and life always reward those who remain consistent and curious. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to keep learning about the financial markets and other incredible topics. Let's evolve together.